And I'm a foot and ankle surgeon from Washington State. I've been in practice for over 30 years. I do a lot of foot surgery. I've had thousands of patients that I've operated on. I put a lot of metal in, and over the years I've had a keen sense of awareness of some of the reactions that can happen with this metal, specifically systemic reactions. I've had a study going on over the past couple decades. Over the past 10 years, I've surgically removed over 1,000 implants in over 400 patients. Some of the systemic effects that I've seen over the years: muscle spasms, fibromyalgia, joint pain throughout the body, severe fatigue, sleeping problems, migraines, dermatologic conditions, emotional issues, exacerbation of rheumatologic conditions, paralysis issues, which I will present, neuromuscular conditions throughout the body, reactions of hardware in other parts of the body. Cause and effect is what I'm presenting, and where I place metal implants or somebody else has, and certain symptoms develop. Metal implants are then removed, and certain symptoms either significantly improve or completely resolve. And in many cases, it's completely resolved. Cause and effect is very powerful, and it's hard to dispute. In my study, it appears we have sensitivity reactions as well as galvanic reactions and allergic reactions, or a combination thereof. One thing I've been working on is galvanic or battery type reactions between dissimilar metals in the body. Titanium is positively charged, stainless steel negatively charged, amalgams are negatively charged, and I've had success in removing metal from the feet, improving symptoms in a total knee or hip or back issues. So how much of the body is comprised of electrical impulses? Well, a depolarization of the nerve and a nerve impulse fires off at about 70 millivolts. I worked with a neurologist, and he does a lot of electrodiagnostic testing, and he recommended we use a voltmeter and ultrasound gel. This is baseline for this testing here, 3.2 millivolts. I then took titanium plate and a stainless steel plate I've taken out of the body, 478 millivolts. And these are not touching each other. And then I've been having problems with metal in the foot and metal in the mouth. And so I ran this good old Hot Wheels track 6 foot away, and still 118 millivolts. Here's some corrosion from a plate, titanium plate, that was only in there for 4.5 months. So first patient, severe back pain, had stainless steel. I placed her foot, both feet actually, about 20 years ago, 3 years ago. She had titanium plates and screws in her back, had significant symptoms ongoing. Everything had fused. She then had a total knee implant. Back pain worsened. I ended up removing the stainless steel from her feet, and her back pain essentially resolved. Here's some of the hardware. Another patient had an interstim for an overactive bladder in her back, and I had previously, 2 weeks previously, fused her big toe joint with a stainless steel plate and screws. She had no problems at that time. Once she had the interstim placed, she had significant pains going up her left leg and then into her back, and it developed to the point that it was very difficult for her to get up from a sitting position. It was hard for her to get her feet underneath her, and she felt as if she was going to fall. I removed the hardware, and all of her symptoms completely resolved. Here's the interstim. Another patient, teacher, age 16, she had her first foot surgery with stainless steel screws. Later, I saw her in her 30s, had to do some revisions, and used titanium. She had problems with earrings, felt she had a nickel allergy, removed the stainless steel. She did fine with that. A couple years later, she comes back, and the screw is irritating her. Okay, let's get it out. I was doing the pre-op. She had a whole list of medications that I didn't remember. I go, what's going on? She goes, well, I have this severe fibromyalgia. I go, well, how long have you had that? Oh, about 2 years. Well, what else do you have? Well, I have this chronic fatigue, and it's just terrible. How long have you had that? 2 years. You have any other metal in your body? No. You have any dental fillings? No. Oh, but I have this bar behind my lower teeth. Oh, you had braces. Well, when did you get your braces? Oh, about 2 years ago. And that's how my conversations go with these patients. So we got her tested, ELISA lymphocyte transformation test. She was positive to nickel and titanium dioxide and to vanadium. And we ended up getting her in to get her titanium out. And I will have you listen to a voice memo here.
So almost immediately after you took the screws out of my feet, I noticed that almost all of my body pain and my migraine symptoms had gone away. And within a couple of weeks, actually all of my rosacea had cleared. So I was able to stop most of my medicines within a month. I think I was taking 18 different medicines for fibromyalgia at that point. And then shortly after that, I made an appointment to take the bar out from my teeth, and since then I take one pill a day for my migraines, and that's it.
All right. Next patient is an engineer. He had severe neuropathy. He had sores at the tips of his toes, infections, and preulcerative lesions underneath his second and third metatarsals. I had to shorten the metatarsals, straighten the toes. He did fine with that. Came back 5.5 years later. Big toe is curling, preulcerative lesion. Had to fuse that, but I noticed swelling over where we had the hardware. We removed the hardware, and he ended up coming back a couple weeks later for his second post-op visit. He says, okay, doc, being the anal engineer that I am, I looked at what happened with my body here. He said, 6 years ago, I had an ACL repair with titanium screw. 4 years ago, prior to the surgery, he started developing neuropathy symptoms in his feet, progressed to his hands, his entire body. He put the hardware in my feet. 3 months later, I started developing basically paralysis for 45 minutes every 2 to 3 days, and went up to 10 hours a day. He was disabled. He took the screws out of my feet, and I went from being paralyzed 10 hours a day to 1 hour a day. Then he ended up, we got him tested with a ELISA test, and he was positive for nickel and significantly positive for palladium, which he had in 6 white gold crowns in his mouth, 26% palladium. So here were the screws from his feet and the one from his knee. And so I ended up presenting his case over in London at a lecture on metal allergies or metal sensitivities and reactions associated with systemic effects. And this was a open letter to Dr. Stetsko, Vera Stetsko, who developed the ELISA test. So even though we never met, Dr. Stetsko's impact on my life is immeasurable. Our lives crossed paths after I had been a rigid quadriplegic for over 5.5 years. I experienced episodes of paralysis that would leave me completely immobilized, paralyzed for excess of 10 hours a day. Neurologists and geneticists performed neurological and genetic testing at the University of Washington and Mayo Clinic over this time without additional diagnosis other than episodic rigid quadriplegia. It wasn't until my podiatrist, Dr. Schroeder, suggested the ELISA test that I saw any hope. When Dr. Stateskull offered to do the ELISA test herself on a gratis basis was more than I could have ever hoped for. The testing and results allowed me and my doctors to understand what was truly happening in my body. Then we were able to formulate a treatment plan. Today, as I write this, I am completely paralysis-free, and words cannot express my gratitude for what a difference Dr. Stateskull has made in my life. I was told that most likely I'd be in a wheelchair the rest of my life, and just last year I had the opportunity to walk my daughter down the aisle at her wedding. So he had oxidation under these implants. I think he had a galvanic reaction between the two that then exacerbated the sensitivity reaction of the two. So in closing, these diagnostic reactions or diagnoses mental reactions, you have to have a high index of clinical suspicion. And really, we need to train our medical community. A lot of the surgeons and docs in our area have no idea about this, and I would implore the FDA to really work with this in medical school training residencies and CME courses. As far as testing goes, one of my rheumatologist colleagues says, I don't have great tests all the time, but I have to use those in combination with my clinical information. And so the ELISA test has been significantly important for me, and I really think this needs to be covered by insurance throughout this country to really get this thing going. And we need more implants and better implants for good functioning non-metallic implants as possible. And last slide, and obviously there's more research needed, and but we really have people that are out there suffering now, and so we really need to get this information out to the docs. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Speaker number 5.
There's a few things. Got 3.